In the beginning, when humanity was still close to its origin, a nation rose that slowly drifted away from truth. This was the nation of Prophet Nuh, a people blessed with time, lands, families, and opportunity, yet they used every blessing to move farther from the one who had given it. They created idols from their own hands, gave them names, and bowed before what could neither hear nor speak. Their hearts hardened, and their arrogance became a veil between them and guidance. Among them walked a man chosen by Allah, a man of patience, dignity, and unshakable faith. Nuh was sent to guide them, to remind them of the truth they had forgotten. He called them with compassion, with sincerity, and with a voice that carried no anger, only hope. Year after year, he warned them of the consequences of pride, of injustice, of disbelief, yet they laughed. They mocked him. They covered their ears whenever he spoke, and whenever he passed by, they pointed fingers as if he were nothing more than a disturbance in their comfortable lives. But Nuh did not stop. He preached for 950 years, nearly a millennium of patience. No prophet ever delivered a message for that long. He spoke publicly, privately, softly in the night, firmly in the day. He told them that Allah was ready to forgive if they returned. He told them their rain would become plentiful, their gardens would flourish, their families would grow, and their fears would disappear. Yet the more he invited them toward the truth, the deeper they fell into denial. They accused him of being just a man like themselves, nothing special, nothing divine. They whispered among each other, saying he only wanted power. Others said he was cursed, or misguided, or possessed. Generation after generation, they dismissed him and warned their children not to listen. Eventually, the moment arrived when their rejection turned into rebellion. They ridiculed the idea of accountability, and they celebrated their false gods. They demanded that Nuh bring the punishment he had warned them about, convinced that nothing could ever harm them. After centuries of rejection, Nuh raised his hands, not in anger, but in grief. He prayed to Allah and said that these people would never believe, no matter how much time was given. They would mislead their children, corrupt their families, and destroy their own future. And so he asked for justice, asking Allah not to leave a single home of wrongdoing on the earth. Allah answered. But even then, before punishment arrived, Allah gave one final warning, a last moment for anyone whose heart still contained a spark of truth. But no one listened. Instead, they increased their denial, mocking Nuh more than ever, certain that nothing could ever change their fate. Then the signs began. The earth trembled. Clouds gathered in ways they had never seen. The sky darkened, and rain started falling, not like ordinary rain, but like a force descending with power. Water burst from the ground, shooting upward with unstoppable strength. Streams turned into rivers, rivers into oceans. The world they knew was transforming before their eyes, and fear spread through the nation like wildfire. But by then, it was too late. Nuh had been commanded to build an ark long before the storm began. People saw him shaping the wood, constructing something enormous in the middle of dry land, and they laughed. They asked if he was building a ship in the desert. They mocked him, asking where he planned to sail. They never realized that the very thing they laughed at would soon be the only thing that could save them. When the command came, Nuh gathered those who had believed, the few who had listened, along with pairs of every creature entrusted to him by Allah. They boarded the ark while the rest of the world drowned in its own arrogance. Waves rose like mountains. The earth was swallowed by water from every direction. The voices of those who rejected the truth filled the air, but mercy had passed. The decree was sealed. Among those left behind was even Nuh's own son, who thought he could escape the storm by climbing a mountain. Nuh called out to him with the desperation of a father, but his son refused, believing the mountains could save him. Then a wave came between them and carried him away. The pain in Nuh's heart was heavy, but he accepted the command of his Lord. For days and nights, the ark floated over a world washed clean. When the storm finally calmed and the water began to settle, the ark rested upon a mountain. Those inside stepped out into a new beginning. Humanity would start again from the survivors of that moment, with lessons written in history forever. And from this story comes a message for us today, a reminder that truth is not a matter of majority, but sincerity, a warning that arrogance blinds, and repetition of sin hardens the heart, a lesson that time is a blessing that should never be wasted, A reminder that when guidance comes, ignoring it only leads to regret. And above all, a call to reflect. If an entire nation was destroyed because of pride and refusal to change, then what about our own lives, our own choices, our own direction? The story of Nuh is not just ancient history. It is a mirror that asks us if we are listening or if we too are covering our ears. A mirror that asks whether we stand with those who mock truth or those who embrace it. A mirror that reminds us that Allah gives countless chances, but not infinite chances. The storm of Nuh may be gone, but every age has its tests, its warnings, and its consequences. And for those who understand, this story is a lighthouse, showing the way before the darkness returns.